my crafty friends, this is Valerie from Carrie Ann Studio Designs, and today we're going to be doing a little bit of mixed media with distressed oxides. Remember that when you are using your clear stamps, you need to be stamping on something that has a little bit of give to it, a little bit of cushion. And I am using, for my distressed oxides, Twisted Citron and Salty Ocean. And what I'm doing here is on a book page. I just tore it right out of an old book I bought at the thrift store, and I am stamping different size flowers and dots in those two distressed oxide ink colors, just to give it just a little bit of a fun mixed media background. And as always, remember when you're using distressed oxides, make sure that you heat set them so that you don't smear any of the ink. The stamp set that I am using is by Close to My Heart, and it's called Rustic Flowers. I do not know if it is still available. I got this at a yard sale last summer, along with some other very awesome stamp sets. And that's another good place to be looking for your stamping supplies, is at yard sales. The next step in this process is to take your book page that you have stamped and dried, and you're going to rip it and pull it towards yourself, and it will give it this fun little tattered edge. And you're going to want a little bit of a strip that you're going to place with tape on that front panel. And I apologize, my screen is a little off here for just a couple of seconds. I'm not sure exactly what happened. So I just put down 3 strips of the double-sided adhesive, and then I just placed it so it was even all the way across, and made sure it was taped down really well. And then I just tore off the sides to keep that tattered edge look. I then went ahead and taped it down to the colored cardstock that I had cut so that I have a little bit of a border around the edges. The blue that I chose is really close to the Salty Ocean distressed ink that I used for the card. And I did the little trick that I always do to line it up with the edges with using the tape and only peeling half of the little tape strip just so that I can get it all placed right where I want it. And then I pull out the little tabs to fully adhere the panel down. I then decided to make this a Thinking of You card. So I got the Thinking of You portion stamped out, and I used my Stamparatus from Stampin' Up! And to make sure it's all lined up, and I was able to stamp it a couple of times to make sure it was as dark as I wanted it to be. And as you can see, I had some major issues with my adhesives during this project for some strange reason, but I did manage to get it glued down. And then we work on the inside. Now what I did was I took a strip, just a very thin strip of that same paper that we stamped on before, and I am going to tape it down on the left-hand side of the paper. And I find that this just kind of brings the whole card together to bring an element from the outside to the inside. And I chose not to put a sentiment on the inside so that I can write a message to somebody, and so it's a very generic inside of the card. And then here I just tore off the bottom and top edges of that little strip to keep that tattered look. And I taped that down to the same color blue cardstock that I used for the front of the card. And don't worry if you get your card piece just a little off as you're putting it down. I figure it's handmade and it's called that for a reason, and you're not looking for perfection. You're wanting to do something from the heart. Go ahead and get that taped down using that same technique with the tape strips. And then I used my Tombow liquid glue to glue the panels to the card. Got it all lined up, and there you have it. That is a very simple but yet very cute Thinking of You card using Distressed Oxide inks. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks. Bye.